Everybody say fight. Now, say yes if you agree with me that Nick, a while ago, should have been a very bitter person. Diba? Right? My gosh, you were born without arms. You were born without legs. Except a little flipper. You know? 2 fingers. He only had 1 foot. Why couldn't it be complete? No, just 2 fingers. He should have said, I'm angry at God. I'm angry at life. Was he angry? He made a decision not to fight nor to flight. What's letter C? Fantasize. There are people who do that. They've got a brokenness in their life and they just live in a fantasy world. I was talking to a woman, this wife. She was telling me about the hardship of her marriage. She said, Brother Bo, we're being torn apart. We're going to break down. This marriage will be torn apart very, very soon. So I go to the husband. Guess what? Husband says, I kind of like ask, I wanted him to open up, you know, to me about the problem in the marriage. How are you, brother? Oh, I'm fine. Wonderful. Yeah, how's married life? How's your wife? I mentioned the name of the wife. Okay, we're okay. Living in a fantasy world. You know, if you've got a brokenness, it won't help if you hide or if you cover, especially to yourself and to other people. And letter D is to feast. Everybody say feast. You've got to feast. Now, where did I get my analogy on feast? You know, I got it from to accept and to celebrate your brokenness. I got it from the Mass. One time I was attending Mass, and while attending Mass, I smiled. Ask me why. I saw the priest in front of me, bald, no hair, shiny as can be. I was half wondering whether the final song should be Shine, Jesus Shine. Because it would be with wonderful visual effects, you know. And then here was funny. There's something funny. Right beside him was the sacristan, the altar boy, who's not a boy. He was also bald. So you've got 2 bald men in front. But the sacristan, the altar boy, was not really a boy, and he was not really bald. You could not see it because he was wearing a toupee. Now that's of course a hairpiece, okay? A more respectable term for wig. And obvious naman. You know, I was thinking, you know, why wear a toupee if it's obvious, you know? So I told my wife, sweetheart, in front of you is my future. And so my wife said, what? Yes, look, option A, option B. Option A, expose it to the world. I mean, one day I'm going to lose my hair, and option A, expose it to the world, the priest. Option B, sacristan, cover it. What do you want? And so she looked at me and she said, magsimba ka. You're attending Mass. And so I was laughing, but that's the mystery of the Mass. I'll tell you why. Ask me why. The Mass is a celebration of what? Of the greatest tragedy and weakness of the universe. Jesus Christ, the Son of God, dying on the cross. That's what we're celebrating at Mass. Why are we celebrating the greatest tragedy in the world? Because the greatest tragedy in the world, the greatest brokenness of the world, has become the source of our greatest blessing and of our greatest victory. And so Christian faith and the Mass and all that we stand for, we don't cover up our brokenness. We actually say, here it is. And then when we do that, we become a source of healing for ourselves and for other people. Brothers and sisters, is there a brokenness in your life right now? I can just end my talk here. I won't. But I can end it right here by asking you that question. What is the brokenness in your life? Your brokenness. Listen, are you listening? Are you sure? Say, I'm listening. Your brokenness will be the source of your greatest victory. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? Your brokenness, I don't care what it is. Your brokenness will be the source of your greatest victory. Of your greatest victory. if you learn to accept and celebrate and bring before the Lord your brokenness. Brother Bo, I'm a separated woman. Your brokenness will be the source of your greatest victory. Brother Bo, I'm financially broke. I have much debt. Your brokenness will be the source of your... Brother Bo, my son, if he's going through drugs, I don't know what's going to happen. Your brokenness will be the source of your greatest victory. You got what I'm saying? Put your both hands up on your chest and say that with me. My brokenness will be the source of my greatest victory. There are 5 things I want you to do when it comes to your brokenness. Step number 1, acknowledge my brokenness. Say that with me. You've got to say, yes, I've got a brokenness. I was talking to a man, he was taking drugs. And I knew he was taking drugs. So I confronted him and said, bro, you're taking drugs. I know you're taking drugs. And he tells me this. You know, Bo, not really. I mean, no, I'm not an addict. I'm not an addict. Once in a while I take it with my friends, but I'm not an addict. What do you call that? He's not acknowledging that he's got a problem. And when you don't acknowledge your brokenness, guess what? Nothing happens. You've got to say, yes, I've got a problem. I've got a problem with porn. I've got a problem with gambling. I've got a problem. You have to acknowledge it, that there's a problem. I've got a trauma in my life that's haunting me and it's affecting my decisions. Please help me. You've got to say, acknowledge. Number 2, you've got to share your brokenness with true friends. In other words, you've got to admit. Say admit. Tell someone beside you, admit. You need 2 or 3 or 4 friends where you can share your brokenness to someone. You've got to say, I'm going through a depression, or I've got an anxiety attack, or I'm going through this, or I'm going through that. You need to have everybody say, need. You need people who will listen to you and who will love you. Touch someone beside you. Tell that person, I need you. You need one another. And you know, brothers and sisters, there really are 2 churches in the world. How many? There are only 2. I'm not talking about Catholic, Protestant. Nor am I talking about Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. No. There are 2 churches in the world. There are only 2. The church that rejects brokenness and the church that celebrates brokenness. The church that rejects brokenness, filled with a lot of pretending people. People who pretend that everything is okay. And there's a lot of legalism, there's a lot of rule orientation, and you look down on everyone who's not up and about and, you know, living a happy life. You know, you've got a problem. Oh, you know, we don't like to be that kind of church. Amen?
Thank you so much for your monthly tithes and love offering to the Rigmo family, without which this broadcast won't be possible. We know that God will reward you abundantly for your generosity. God bless you.